A newly industrialized country is one that outperforms the economic growth of a developed country, and the Philippines fits this description well, are recognized as having recently industrialized economies. Not just them, but including Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, and the Philippines. These four countries are expected to experience economic growth over the next 10 years. However, the Philippines and its neighbors are very different. Even if we include Vietnam in the comparison, the Philippines does not share many economic parallels with the other three countries. Indonesia is well known for its abundance of natural resources, which boosted its economy by exporting commodities worth billions of dollars. Vietnam successfully transformed its economy by producing and exporting textile and electrical goods. Malaysia is a major producer of semiconductors, photovoltaics, and other similar components in the electronic and electrical sector. Thailand, as one of the world's largest manufacturers, has the potential to become a rising star in the automobile industry, producing up to 2 million vehicles per year. The Philippines, on the other hand, has nothing in common with these countries. Natural resources are scarce, but the few that have been discovered have been subject to stringent regulations. Despite having an electronic industry worth tens of billions of dollars, the Philippines lags behind these other countries. As a result, the Philippines' export sector is significantly smaller than that of its neighbors. The country recently recorded exports of around $100 billion. This limited export sector has caused numerous ongoing issues, such as a significant trade deficit. Furthermore, among the 5 major Southeast Asian countries, the Philippines has become the least beneficiary of interregional foreign direct investment. Despite the fact that all of these have downplayed its rise, the Philippines' economy remains one of the fastest growing in the entire newly industrialized group. Between 2013 and 2021, the Philippine economy grew by an average of 4.7%, which was higher than the top 5 Southeast Asian economies and second only to Vietnam's 5.8%. Furthermore, a significant increase in GDP is expected to be reported by the end of 2022 and last until 2023. The question then becomes how the Philippines expanded as quickly as, if not faster, than its neighbors. The Philippines' economy is influenced by a variety of factors. Others may argue that the Philippines is still a significant agricultural powerhouse. Or, despite the fact that the country's electronic and electrical sector engages in low-value operations, it still contributes significantly to the economy, bringing in billions of dollars each year. Finally, we could acknowledge the entire Filipino diaspora, which has contributed hundreds of billions of dollars to the country over several decades. These foreign investments and remittances have aided the nation's fiscal situation by increasing its foreign reserves, which has helped reduce the country's balance of payments deficit. Among the aforementioned factors, there is one more underlying industry that we have not yet discussed. We believe one stands out from the rest. It is well known for its service economy. The service sector drives the majority of the Philippine economy. This may appear strange given that the service sector is the largest in the majority of countries around the world, including Southeast Asia. However, the Philippines is the only country that exports services. When it comes to job opportunities and wages, the service sector, along with its exports, dominates the entire country. This is due in part to the well-known business process outsourcing sector in the Philippines, which is expected to earn more than $38.9 billion by the end of 2022, according to the IT and Business Process Association of the Philippines. Even though the call center has been the most significant export of services thus far, it is not the only one. Its next major growth area will be emerging industries such as healthcare, animation, and game development. To date, this rapidly expanding sector of high-value services has emerged as the Philippines' future, with both expected to grow by double digits, compared to call centers, which are expected to grow by single digits. Even though service exports in the Philippines are nearly $40 billion, they are insufficient to drive the country's overall $400 billion or more economy. However, The effects of its service exports have been unusually significant in recent decades and will continue to be so in the future. Where would the country be if this industry did not exist? Moving on, we discuss what prevents the Philippines from functioning in comparable industries as its neighboring countries, in addition to its significant economic factors. Unlike the rest of the Southeast Asian family, the Philippines has a strict foreign and internal policy. Outside investment is severely restricted due to the government's adherence to policy as prescribed by its own constitution. Furthermore, whenever the Philippines' abundant natural resources are mentioned, they are constantly chastised. Environmental organizations opposed to mining have spent a significant amount of money to prevent the country's environment from deteriorating. These and other issues are impeding the country's economic expansion. If restrictions had been less stringent, the Philippines would almost certainly have positioned itself significantly better than most Southeast Asian countries. How much stronger would the Philippine economy be if these issues didn't exist, if it could develop to where it is today without the need for foreign intervention and a combination of strict economic policies? Will the Philippines become a much wealthier nation with increased investment? Would the Philippines' high-value electronic industry be better and more dependable? Or perhaps it could have made better use of its natural resources? The Philippines currently has a wealth of potential, including nickel, cobalt, and billions of dollars worth of items. Because of the West Philippine Sea's oil and gas potential, it has even become a global battleground. Furthermore, we have mentioned the importance of rivalry in the home market in a few of our videos. The abundance of monopolistic businesses operating on a local level is one of the problems in the Philippines. The $2 billion Gcash startup in the Philippines represents the country as a whole and is essentially what keeps the country's financial technology system alive. But whose company is this? It is not from newly established business owners. It is a joint venture between Globe Telecommunications and Ayala Corporation, two companies that are notorious for being too large for the country. Despite the fact that these issues are impeding progress, recent years have seen a gradual but rapid improvement. Foreign firms rushed in after the telecommunications foreign investment statute was relaxed. Elon Musk, the world's richest man, owns Starlink, which has expanded to the Philippines to offer its satellite internet services, which are widely regarded as the first in Southeast Asia. This could imply that the opening of foreign investment policies will reshape the entire archipelago's nation. The liberalization of the telecommunications industry was one of the best improvements in the country because it signaled that the Philippines had finally opened its doors. There are still many opportunities that would have arisen if the government had less stringent regulations and supported boosting the overall economy through profit. Finally, the demographics of the country are an unmentioned issue. Unlike the rest of Southeast Asia, the Philippines has a large population opportunity. According to CIA data published in a 2020 report, the Philippines has the lowest median age in the entire Southeast Asian bloc, with a median age of just 24.6 years. Significantly less than the 37.7 years of Thailand, 30.5 years of Vietnam, 30.2 years of Indonesia, and 28.5 years of Malaysia. This simply means that the population will play an important role in the future. This is another reason why the government has placed a high value on education in its budget. As a result, the Philippines is in an unusual position in comparison to the rest of Southeast Asia. It could also imply that the government is attempting to reshape the entire country by relaxing previously stringent regulations. With the right goals and knowledge, the Philippines can quickly enter and become a much faster expanding economy. What will the Philippines' future look like? This is Visionomics, and thank you for watching until the end.